Hi there, wonderful awakening beings and spiritual souls. Jo Rose of jorose.com, numerologist and energy forecaster. In this video, I'm sharing with you the numerology forecast for April 2025. But before I recap, may I wish you a happy new year. Yes, April the 1st was once celebrated as the new year. Very interesting that they create this now as April Fool's Day. And the change took place in 1582. And you can scroll back in my case, iPhone calendar all the way back to that year and see the missing days. The new year was in line with the seasons. And as we hit April, we are in a 4 energy and the 4 seasons. So it makes sense that we spring into life. We spring into freshness and creativity. So whatever you do, April the 1st, bear in mind that the governments are going to increase all our utility bills. Is that why they do it on April the 1st? To make more of a fool of us? It's time we woke up and said no to what's going on. 2025 is a 9 energy. How do we know this? By adding together and reducing down all the digits of the current year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. I'm going to do this video a little bit differently than how I normally do it. And maybe from now on, they may all be just randomly as and how I feel. The 9 is about being appreciative. Count your blessings and not your worries. Makes a huge difference. 9 is about belief. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, that's what you will manifest. It takes the same amount of energy to go either way. But if we all did it, or if you consistently did it, the vibration would raise and there's a high chance more good things will come our way. Remember, 9 is about the collective. It's also about conscience, being aware and in the moment is more rewarding long term. It's also about devoted and devotion. Who do you devote yourself, your time and your energy to? The first on the list should always be you. Remember, it's your life. Spell LYFE. Love yourself first every day. And I know I'm going to be talking about grounding further on in the video, but that is the best way to ground yourself. Loving yourself, hugging yourself. If you go back to when you were born, when you were a baby, your mother hugged you. It was a great feeling, a connection. So give yourself that great big hug in as many times as you want and feel your vibration, feel your joy, feel your love expand outward. Some people may say loving yourself is a bit vain and conceited. I disagree, because when you love yourself, this is how you want others to treat you. And when you love the self, you go deeper into your soul. Source of universal life, source of universal love. 9 is the final number before we start the cycle all over again. And this is why this year we are letting go of things, practices, people, situations that no longer serve us. This can be traumatic and bring a lot of stress and emotion and tension up. The best way to work through this is through your breath. If we look at the word breath, it calculates to a 27-9. And if we look at the heart's desire of the number, it is a 6. When we look at the personality, it's a 3. And when we look at the expression, it is a 9. 3, 6, 9. Where did we hear that before? Back in 2020. I did a video on COVID-19. When I calculated that combination of words and numbers and it hit 36.9. My mind went, where have I heard that before? And I know I've shared in many videos Nikola Tesla. For some, 2020 was filled with frustration and sadness, doom and gloom and fear. And for others, it was the beginning of the real big awakening. Nikola Tesla said, if only man knew the significance of the 3, 6 and 9, then they would have a key to the universe. See Walter Russell's further findings. It's classed as God's thumbprint. So in a year of letting go, when things get too much, just pause and breathe. Use the breath to guide you through. Breathe in positive, healing, life-enforcing energy, and breathe out anything that no longer serves you. Transmute your energy in each moment. When you think about moments where you have been stressed or anxious, your heartbeat starts to beat faster. Your breathing becomes more shallow. Panic and fear take hold. Sometimes it can get so bad that we hyperventilate and you're past a brown paper bag. Well, not necessarily brown, but they normally are, but a paper bag to breathe into. When people get overexcited, often people say, stop, breathe. The breath is what the ether is all about. So take a moment and breathe in all that you want to manifest, all that's going to raise your vibration, all that's going to lift you up, elevate you to your highest possible state of being. And breathe in. And then when you release all that no longer serves you, all the pain, all the discomfort, all the frustration, all the self-talk, negative self-talk in your head. Let it go. Every morning before you get out of bed or as you get out of bed, do this. Every evening as you're about to go to sleep, do this. And anywhere during the day that you can remember, perhaps set an alarm to take these breaths, to cleanse the negative vibration, to bring in the love and light, because it's being sent out there across the world all the time. It's being channeled via your soul, source of universal life, source of universal love. And if you can think back to some of these major challenges that have caused you to feel very stressed and anxious, years down the road is forgotten. But what damage does it do to your body? What we don't release, we depress. And when we depress, it affects us, our well-being. We have trapped vortexes of energy. Breathing calms the nervous system. The nervous system in the metaphysical anatomy is the communicator. We do things sometimes that we don't understand, and that's because we're either in a habitual habit or fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And in my last video, I did a number of adaptations of the word fear. Just because my videos are about the month doesn't mean that what I share in each video is just for the month. There are great techniques to help you realign with source, realign with who you are and why you're here. Now back to the 369 or more, the COVID-19. March 2020, I went online and looked up the worldometer. I took a note of the population. Year on year, I have screen captured the population. And when we were being told so many were dying, not so many were being birthed, we still had millions increase in population. And For 3 years in a row, it was between 81 and 87. Then we took a dip to about 76. When I looked at it this time round, and knowing that we have all lost so many loved ones, and there have been endless world events that have caused great mass unaliving. Myanmar earthquake recently, the last time I looked, 1600. We're told the war between Ukraine and Russia is taken endless. Or what's gone on in Gaza. And yet the difference between last year's population to now, it has risen 114 million. As I have questioned before, who owns the worldometer? Who is feeding this data? Are we really overpopulated? Or is it all just another hoax like the moon landing, like climate change? The 4 energy of this month asks you to ground yourself in the information. And the information that comes to you, do your research, critical think. The 4 is so detailed. It wants to find the answers. It wants to know the structure. It wants to know how it all fits together. The 4 is not a get-rich-quick number. It can get rich. It's a step-by-step number. The 4 needs to know A, B, C, D, E. Do not miss a letter. When you go through everything in a systematic order, the 4 then has the ability to see a better way. And perhaps now people are waking up to see a better way. 9 is about trusting Source, which speaks through your soul. Source gave his only son. English language was not the first language. So if we look at the Mediterranean languages and we see the spelling of sun, it's soul, source of life. The sun is the biggest source of life. So why are they spraying the skies? Everything needs the sun. It wakes it up. It nourishes it, and it nourishes us. Is source and the sun and the sun's man the real Trinity? Just a thought. Now, April brings in the 4 energy. 4 plus 9 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. So we have a 4 energy to work with this month, but it's a 13-4. So there is a karmic debt here, something to be repaid. The 4 energy is dependable. Think back to the lockdowns, 2020. What else is 2020? It's the vision. And that's why some followed the 4 and some followed the 2020 vision. The awakening has been happening for years, but it was a big boost then, and it's picking up momentum day on day. The 4 is loyal, committed. It's structured. It requires security. It's compliant. That's how they locked us down. And talking of compliant, who are you compliant to? Is that serving you? Are you compliant to your employer? Are you compliant to the government? Are you compliant to the structure and the system? If we all are compliant, that's how it works. But if we all said, no, we're no longer compliant to the structures man have made. We are compliant to the Trinity, Source, Sun, Soul. It would change our life and our well-being. It will improve our life and our well-being. Yes, we will have to work through hard times. That's why the 9 is about letting go. The 9 is about release, forgiveness, and transformation. Ask yourself, have you got sidetracked with the world's illusion? No, the devil plays an unfair game. And you might say, I don't believe in the devil. You may say, I don't believe in God. But if you look at the play on words, devil has evil in it. And if we add an O, God is good. So we're looking at evil and good. Outside of that, if we don't give it an emotion and just receive it as an experience, and we can do that this month because we are going to be grounded, we will find better solutions. Last month was very social. This month is about doing. It's the karmic number. So whereas the 4 is the worker, the 13-4 will be the harder worker. We reap what we sow, but the work is about returning to source, returning to the soul within, which is actually the whole. I've said it before, numerology is our guidebook. We are all individuals and unique, even though we all have this human spacesuit that we wear. We have similarities and we have differences, but we are each a genius in our own right. Follow your numbers. And don't forget, I do readings, consultations, and mentorships. Am I singing to your soul? Am I speaking to your soul? Does your soul want to be heard? The ego has been so dominant for so long because it's a fear-based and it's protection. The soul wants to protect us, but it wants us to be bigger, bolder, brighter, and better. Your numerology, your date of birth, your name at birth holds the key to who you are, what you want to achieve in this time, all while we raise the vibration. And if we all live true to our numbers, the vibration would just endlessly be high. As I said, it's a 13-4. So we look at the numbers that make the 4. The 1 is about the self. 3 is about co-creation. And 4 is the foundation. Your soul is the foundation. And you nurture it by realizing it's your life. Again, spell L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first every day. Now you see the importance of self-love. It's to connect to your soul and source. Now looking at the 4. The 4 is foundations. It's the roots. It's about grounding. Where are you currently planted? How deep are your roots? What happens when things come like the wind? Does it knock you over and break you? Or are you so firmly grounded that you might just sway in the wind? Or are you as strong as an oak tree? Share with me what you're going to do this month to ground yourself. Here are some suggestions. Get a grounding mat. Get on it every day. Sleep with a grounding sheet on your bed. Earth yourself. Get out in nature. We are so fortunate at the moment here in the UK because we are expecting a week or 2 of glorious sunshine. And fingers crossed, the sky stays blue and we get to see it and feel it and love it. All this sunscreen and staying away from the sunshine, it's false. I haven't worn sunscreen. I can't remember the last time. I get out gradually as the sun starts, like in spring, and just 15-20 minutes a day gives me a boost of vitamin D. It allows the melatonin in my skin to surface and protect me further as I go from pale to tanned. Forest grazing. Walk on the soil barefoot, the sand, or in the sea. Exercise. Build the strength in your body. Get out in the garden. Touch the soil. Do some gardening. Grow a veg, salad, fruit plot. Do breath work. Do breath work with your feet on the grass, on the soil, on the sand. The other day there was a partial eclipse and I went out there and I was able to do this. I had a meditation playing. I went within. I connected to source. I felt so alive by the time I had finished, with my feet touching the earth, with the sun beaming down and the fresh air in my lungs. So breathe, meditation, sun gaze, early morning, sunrise, sunset, never when the sun is at its highest or most intense. And if there's no sun, gaze into an open fire or a candle flame. Sleep in natural fabrics, wear natural fabrics, allow your body to breathe. Because when we wear non-natural fabrics, every time we sweat or our pores open up, we are taking in the chemicals from those fabrics. When you go to sleep or when you're up, vent your rooms, allow fresh air to come in. And as I've said before, every number has a colour. The 4 energy is green. So wear green this month to ground yourself. Know your own personal month, personal days, and wear those colours. It hones in, it grounds the energy. So this month for the 4, it's green. Just look back at my videos. You'll see whenever I put a number up that I change the colour. The year is gold. For me, my personal year will be green. This month, it will be magenta. 4 is about security. So spend some time. Check your internet security. Don't rush to answer anything. It could be a scam. ID theft is getting bigger. And I don't say this to frighten you. I say this now to protect yourself. Then you can let go of any fears that someone could come in and take your identity or your money. Saying that, the banks could take our money at any moment. Check your home, your locks on your doors, your windows, your gates. And check if you've got any holes. We don't want intruders, and that includes rodents. I've noticed in the shed in the garden, it's not a good shed, but I've got a few holes and some munched cardboard in there. I obviously have somebody coming in. Thankfully, I have a cat and they won't be coming into the house. And if you need insurance, do your research. I couldn't believe when I was renewing my car insurance last year, I could have a difference of thousands from one provider to another. Check the policies. I did this, and like for like, I saved thousands. And always check the security of your car. Be mindful, especially if you're a woman, not to park your car by a van, especially late at night or in a multi-storey car park. I hear often that's how attacks happen. And if you've got one of these modern keyless driving cars, then put your fob in a Faraday case. It stops them getting the code. Simple things look after us. And while I'm at it, put your phone in a Faraday case. Protect yourself from the EMF rays. The 4 is committed, hence why the lockdowns happened in that year, 2020. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 equals 4. It's so committed. It wants to hold on to things. It's loyal. It seeks security. 9 says, let go and trust. Ask yourself, is holding on to whatever it is you're holding on to serving you right now? It may have served you up until this point. It may have served you in the past. Maybe one day it may serve you again in the future, but you can bring it back in. But if it's no longer serving you, the 9 says, trust and let go. We hold on to things because we believe they're comfortable and we live in our comfort zone. But it's seldom comfortable, really. I call this the known zone. Better to know, the better the devil we know than the devil we don't. But by staying in that same space, you are denying yourself new opportunities, new experiences, new ways, possibly better ways of doing things. And eventually, staying stuck becomes stagnant, and stagnant leads to decay, and decay can lead to depression. We don't want that, do we? So what can you do to let go? And what do you need to let go of? The whole year is about letting go. Check in with your core inner self. Are you in flow or are you stuck in slow? 4 is about security, stability. Check how much you are protected for in your bank. Spread your money out, your funds out, or even your investments out. All your eggs in one basket's not a good idea. Be frugal also. Consumerism is a psyop. What they do not get via taxes, they get by telling you you don't have enough, you're not enough, and you need to spend your hard-earned money to buy, to sort, to make everything better. And yet the more you spend, we can look at people that do cosmetic surgery. They end up spending thousands because once you start on one area, there's another area and another area. And no matter how much you buy, it's instant gratification. It may feel good in the moment, but it doesn't last long. Your new shiny car just becomes the car that takes you from A to Z. If you're going to spend your money on things that light you up, things that make you feel good long term. Invest your money in you, your education, your well-being. You were crafted the way you were crafted. Like over here, I have some flowers, a gift for Mother's Day from one of my children. There are different flowers in there, and even in the same identity of flower, for example, the tulips, they're not all exactly the same, or the hyacinths. And the hyacinths have a great smell, but the tulips don't. Each has got its uniqueness, its colour, its smell. You are no different from the flower. And yet, all those flowers look beautiful. And outside money, the biggest investment you have is your time. Invest it wisely, because time once spent is gone. Money can be remade. Energy, although a loss of energy depletes us, energy can be remade. But time, once spent, is gone. So invest wisely. Invest in things that elevate you and not deplete you. 9 is the number of gratitude and a higher vibration of attitude. All that glitters is not gold. The 9, I've said to you, the colour is gold. But with all the releasing and letting go that we have to do, it doesn't always feel like gold, like good, like great. And yet when we look back, we sometimes say, why didn't we do it sooner? I hear stories that there is endless queues of people wanting to come to Earth. But you and I, we are here right now. And it's to expand our soul's experience. In return, we are like a battery raising the vibration, bringing love where there is fear, bringing light where there is darkness. We are the torch, we are the stars. Now 4 brings our limitations to the forefront. What are your limitations? We all have limitations, and that doesn't mean it's there to stop us. When we learn to turn our limitations into our strengths, for example, you want to start a business, but you have a young family, then make it a family business. Make it based around the children, whether that be topics for the children or your time schedule to do it when they're at school. Our limitations are where we're at this point. Work around the obstacles. Grow through the challenges. They are opportunities for change. They suggest we push through our boundaries. Now, I've already said the 4 is step by step, So when I say push through, I don't mean knock them down. I mean expand slowly, gently, keeping us stable and strong and grounded. When we think of a task, it can put us in overwhelm. I recently moved home again and I went into overwhelm. Yes, I know this stuff, but when we get into our fear panic base, we don't always realign. I get better year on year, day on day. But a move is a big thing. Take each step at a time. You'll be surprised how much easier it feels it's going. And don't live in fear. Trust the 9. Whatever gets blocked or stopped was never meant to be. Just keep focusing your attention on what you desire, what you want. And that doesn't mean the vehicle, or in my case, the house. What that means is, how do you want to feel in the new home, in the new car, in the new relationship? That's where your soul guides you. And what you find not to be your strengths. 4 is a team player. So find your team. Know who is good at what and who can help you with which. Hone your strengths and hone theirs. People want to help, they really do. But sometimes people are asked for help in an area like financial or some skill or time thing that they can't do. But if you said, this is my situation, I'm really struggling because I can't do everything on my own, how can you help me? They'll come up with an answer. Now, it may not be something you needed right then. It may not be something at all. Sometimes people might just be the ear you need and they don't even lift a box. When you are grounded, you'll know who can help you and who can't. Whatever you choose or don't choose to let go of, be kind and gentle to yourself. Take small steps, and if it's something you didn't choose, take time out. Grief is some emotion that we have to deal with whether we like it or not. What does grief really tell us? What is the attachment we have with what we're letting go of? You're going through your wardrobe and you've got outfits that are years old because one day you may fit back in them. One day they may come back in fashion. And yet, in my recent move, the removal people said to me, why are you holding on to some of these things, Jo? All you're doing is paying for storage. We keep moving from when we're younger to a point where we keep upsizing. When your children have flown the nest like mine have, there comes a point where you downsize. That's a whole new ballgame. If you think empty nest syndrome was bad enough, wait till you let go of things that once were important, that now they're just costing you in rent. It's better to have more money to go out there and enjoy yourself than it is to have it stuck in your property. And what if there's a market crash? You could lose it all. And I'm not saying take it out as an equity release, because just discovered my mum has done that, and a 40,000 loan over the years has turned into 170,000 amount to be repaid. Yeah, shocking. But have you ever looked at what you pay for your mortgage? And you may think, well, how am I going to get a home? I'm going to say, let go of limiting beliefs. If you're meant to have it, you will. If you're meant to work up to it slowly, you will. If you're meant to lose it straight away, you will. Because your soul is on a journey to learn things. For example, my last major cycle is a 9. And if by the time I've got to this cycle, I haven't learned that I need to let go of the material world. After all, when I pass over, I take nothing but my soul with me. Everything else is baggage. And there's a high chance no one wants your stuff. So while it's current, while you're still around, sell it. Make some money and go and do something that lights you up. Last month was a 3 energy, and I said to you, get out there and do things that light you up. Socialize, do hobbies, have a makeover. I had my hair done. That's one of my makeovers that took place. I also mentioned that I was going to do a mandala because I said we can all do something creative, but look into your own numbers and see what that creative would be for you in that period of time. So the mandala sung to me because it was creative as the universe number. It was mindful and meditative, and I was in a 7 personal month. Now, I am on a 22-4 life path. It's a 4. I'm in a 4 year. I didn't realise, having never done a mandala, yes, I'd seen hundreds, that I was going to use a compass. I had to format a pattern and then a process. And I had gone to this class with an idea of what I was going to do. And she told me to let go the 9 energy, leave any conceptual idea I had at the door, be in the moment and craft. I thought, how am I going to do this? But then when I went to see the paints, the colours I wanted were not there. I let go, and I absolutely loved the process of letting go, of doing the mandala, of creating the mandala, so much so now that I want to go deeper with it. Now, had I not took time out in that 3 energy to go and experience something I never experienced, I wouldn't know this. So some of you wrote to me and said what you were going to do. Did you do it? What happened? What did you find? Remember, doing nothing, changing nothing causes us to be stuck, stagnant. It opened my world. I also mentioned the imposter syndrome, and I spoke of my daughter who changed jobs late last year, and she felt like she had this imposter syndrome. Well, I saw her the other day. She had an appraisal, a review. They said to her, bearing in mind, she thinks she can't do this job, she's not good enough. They said to her, they thought she was going to be good, but she surpassed what they thought. And sooner than expected, she is being promoted to a senior designer. So since uni, she has moved up quite quick, but still she had imposter syndrome on taking this new role. Imposter syndrome, it doesn't serve you. So use the 4 energy of this month and ground yourself. Breathe. Breathe in good. Breathe in your dreams. Breathe in who you really are, a genius. Because when you follow your numbers, you are a genius. Let go of limiting beliefs. If you think you can't pick up a skill right now, if you think you are too old, if you think all of these things, they're going to stop you. But what if you just said, I'm inspired to do something different? There'll be a result. I may like it, I may not. Some of the people that left the mandala class, no, it wasn't for them. For me, I felt like it lit a flame within. So many ideas of what I'd like to do with it. And yes, I am sharing a photo of my mandala. There are errors, there are mistakes, there are not enough in it. It was time. We didn't have as much time. But it's not wrong. It's not awful. It's my first. I can improve. I can do some really lousy jobs. It's just experience. That's all it is. It's experience. It's not a failing. It's only a failure if we keep repeating the same thing over and over without getting the lessons. So let go of limiting beliefs. Re-evaluate the beliefs. Whose are they? And why are you holding on to them? They are a worn out story you are telling yourself. They are a worn out story who somebody wants you to be, who you used to be. Numerology tells us we don't stay in the same place. We can never walk in a river the same place twice because the bed moves underneath the water flows. plants move along the top, the surface. So if you're telling yourself your body doesn't work because you're old, that's exactly what will happen. But if you actually look deeper, which I have done recently, my body doesn't not work because it's old. It works because something has stopped me using those muscles. I have either suppressed or depressed emotions. Look into the traumas that your body is telling you. Release and let go. And if you're one of those persons that sets the alarm with the snooze button because you think you can't just wake up, you won't. And if you've got several snooze buttons and you don't know which one's going off, or you forgot to turn one off and your partner says, it's Sunday, why is that button on? Or like this weekend, the clock's changed, what's going on? If you tell yourself you can't wake up, you won't. But if you tell yourself you can, you will. And the irony of this story and the weekend was, it was my son and his girlfriend who needed to be up at 4 a.m. to go catch a flight. I said to her, when the alarm goes off for this flight, will you snooze it? Or will you lose it? She said, I'm not losing the holiday, so no, I won't. I said, so you can do it. And that's the same thing you've got to do every day. Like when you've got a task to do. So it's how I got the task to do. Get up and go do the task. You'll feel 1,000,000 times better after you've done it. 4 is also about traditions. Numerology, astrology is a tradition. It's a tool that you can use to improve or guide your life. Other things are cooking, baking, gardening, sewing, crafting. These are all traditions that are being lost because we are so used to finding entertainment or things to do on our iPhone, our iPad, or our Mac, our Androids. Imagine if, and at one point, they didn't exist. I didn't grow up with a phone. Well, literally, many people didn't have a phone, and we only had a phone because we moved and lived in a pub. It was a business phone. Most of my friends didn't. We had to make arrangements before we saw them. We had to arrange to go and see them. Have you noticed how disconnected the world is becoming? Even the post office in the UK, they are making large letter stamps so expensive they cost more than the card. They already do anyway, but even more than an expensive card to send. And when I questioned it, it's because they want you to stop using the post. Why? Then you might stop seeing another. But if you don't, then you're going to get in your car and you're going to go against their zero plan because you're going to go and drive. And in my case, my mum lives 80 miles away, about to move further, but she lives 80 miles away. Now, mum, she doesn't drive. She can't drive. She can't afford to buy that stamp. What are they doing? And back in lockdown, when they closed the pubs, years back, the taverns were where people connected, where people spoke about what's going on, where they arranged how they were going to go against or for something. Everything online is monitored. AI, chat, whatever it is, GPT is taking over. Imagine this, that ChatGPT, the future doctors are learning from AI and ChatGPT. I don't trust them with my well-being now, let alone when that gets involved. Go back to basics. 4 is about basics. Go back to the foundations. Go back to traditions. And the foundation of all is lying with your soul and the connection to source, universal love, or life. Spend time with the sun, source of life. We are the sons and daughters of our Maker, the Creator. And when we stop creating, we stagnate. Just before we go, we have Easter here in the UK and in other parts of the world. I know not all religions celebrate Easter and not all at the same time. Easter is about ending. It's about sacrifice. Jesus was sacrificed on the cross. 3 days later, he resurrected. He was born again. When is now the time for you to be born again? When is now the time to realize the value your soul has, the connection with Source? When is now the time? This year's about letting go. Now is the time to release the devil's playground. Now is the time to release what is holding you back. Now is the time to release what causes you to feel heavy and low vibration. We are clearing out, we are cleansing, and you must be kind. You need to forgive yourself as well as others. Because like the butterfly, we are about to transform from our caterpillar stage. The awakening is coming whether you like it or not. Those that are ready, those that see it, those that are grounded, those that know it will be strong and work through it. Those that aren't may feel the burden of what's happening, the crashing and crumbling, overinflation. The world is either evil or it's good. And it all depends on how you align. I know I should say this a number of times in my video. If you like what I share, please press the like button. Leave comments, share, and push that bell for notification. Something happened to me last month after doing the mandala. I was doing a spiritual business course. I've signed into this spiritual business course now because I want to expand. I want to inspire. I want to shine bigger, bolder, brighter and better. So I am going to be doing more videos. I'm going to be appearing on more platforms, and I'm going to take my time. I am in a 4-year small step because all that is overwhelmed. I was doing the course and really weird, I wasn't even going to sign up for the course. That day was a 5 energy. It was a 14-5. Expect the unexpected. I did not expect to sign up. And worse still, I didn't expect to be called onto the Zoom. What is that? I create videos. Look, I'm not red or blushing. My very first video I am, and I have that here on my site on YouTube, but I was blushing. I need to work on this. All of a sudden, I was pulled into the limelight. Perhaps I've not been ready. I'd like to work on that so that I am. Because as the old falls away, people are looking for the new. People will come back to spirit, to source. And if you are in a healing business, if you are in a light-bearing business, if you have seen and are awakened to what has been going on, people will be looking for you. So use this month to ground yourself and be ready. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing April. Enjoy the Easter holidays. Enjoy the sunshine, especially if you're in the UK. And I'll see you in my next video.